Hi, how you doing? Welcome back to Smoking Cheltenham. Hope you're good. I don't know how you found the last couple of weeks. Personally, I've not really enjoyed it. I have not this year. Um, I mean, you always get the thing, don't you? The tightening the screws at home. Some horses fall by the wayside. That's every year. But this Willie Mullins bingo thing is just getting, it's kind of, for me, it's affecting the build up anyway. It's taking it a bit away from the build up, but I guess we're just gonna have to kind of live with that, aren't we? He's just got so much firepower now. But yeah, it's a nightmare, isn't it? Yeah, we've lost Constitutional since I last saw you. That's a shame. It really is. It does take away from the champion hurdle this year. It just looks a really uninspiring race now. Yeah, bit good for connections. Nicky gets some stick unfairly, I think. For me this season, he would have ran in the fighting fifth. That was the plan, but it got put back a week, didn't it? It ended up like 10 days away from the Christmas race, so he had to pull out of that, which is fine. I totally see that. He ran in the Christmas race, it looked awesome. Then he scoped badly before his last run, and then it's happened again. He's not done a thing wrong for me, Nicky, with this horse. And yeah, I just, some of the stuff you read in here is just, I don't get it. I don't. But you know, but right. So yeah, we'll get to it in a minute. No, we'll do it now. We'll do it now while we're talking about constitutional. Like, personally, I think he's the best hurdle I've ever seen. The best 2 mile hurdle. Like, just his performance in that Supreme were just jaw dropping. So I mentioned before, the only thing I can compare it to that I've seen is like Frankel's Guineas. Guineas, it were like that. But they're not machines, these things, are they, these horses? And I just think, right, we had a point, right, I'll get to it. We had a point, didn't we, on Lossiemouth at 14s to win the Mayor's Hurdle and the Champion Hurdle next year. I think this is a good bet, especially in the light of this. I think we're going to have another 2 points. It's my first bet today, 2025. 2 points, Lossiemouth to win the Mayor's Hurdle and next year's Champion Hurdle, 14-1 at Paddy's. So that takes us up to 3 points in total. I think it's a cracking bet, I do. Um, she's running, unless State Man steps on a stone, she's running in the Mayor's Hurdle this year. Um, Willie will want 2 odds-on favourites rather than one, and Paul will want to ride Lossiemouth and State Man. I just don't, I think you can't take things for 100%, can you? You can't take things for red with these guys, but I think she's going Mayor's Hurdle. I think we're sort of 99% with that. And to be honest, if she ran in the Champion Hurdle this year, personally, I think she might beat State Man. I do. I think she's that good. She's class. And put it this way, I mean, I love State Man too, don't get me wrong. He's a top class horse. But I think if State Man ran how he ran in last year's Champion Hurdle, I think he'd struggle to be getting Lossiemouth £7 this year. I do. I think she's that good. Now, obviously, Constitutional can come back and win next year's Champion Hurdle, and I kind of hope he does. I'd love to see it. But that's twice now he's scoped badly, isn't it? And you just wonder if there's maybe something more going on there now. I mean, if anyone can get him Beckett's Nicky is an absolute wizard with like the walking wounded. But we're talking 14-1 with one big horse to beat. Because like I say, particularly next year, I'd fancy her to turn State Man over. I think she's that good. So at 14-1, I think that represents a fair bit of value. I think that's a good bet. Yeah, like I say, they fall by the wayside, these horses. We lost firm footings, didn't we? Personally, that was the sort of biggest bet I'd had in an handicap this year. I had a good each way bet on him at 16s. He was 7s, weren't he? Yeah, he's fell over. He's not getting there. You kind of get scared to put the news on, don't you? You're like, who's next? You know. I'll be glad when it's all sorted and we know the final fields. At the moment, it does look like Ballyburn's going Ballymore, Ballybingham, whatever. And if so, I'm thinking I think we're looking at the green and gold for the Supreme. I think it's like Mystical Power and Jericho. I wouldn't be surprised if JP's two are fighting out the finish there. I'd be inclined to think Mystical Power over Jericho, but I'm not 100% on that yet. But I think that's the way I'm going. I'll probably just back both of those of my main dart Mystical, but I don't back it yet because we might know in a few hours, or it might be tomorrow or whatever. They might confirm it, but you just don't know until I see it in black and white. I won't believe it. We've been on this roundabout for too long now. I remember Willie a few years back now, Vitor, weren't it? He was winning the Gold Cup or nowhere. Day after, he's running it right now. So, yeah. It also seems like Gaelic Warrior might be running in the Arkle and Facile Vega in the Turners. I think that's wrong myself, but we'll get to that a bit more. But, Again, though, until I see these things in black and white, I'm just not believing it anymore. Had enough of it. So let's sort of focus on what we do now. I've had a good look through these handicaps, and Jesus, we said right at the beginning of the season that the future is green and gold, and wow, it certainly is. I think looking through the handicaps and even the other races, like a couple of things, few things really coming into this Cheltenham. I think JP is going to smash whatever the most winners for an owner to have at the festival before. I think he's going to smash it to pieces this year. I do. Willie, I think, can break new records too. What's the most winners? 10, is it, for Willie? I think he might beat that this year. He's going to be up there. He is. He's coming here off a 44% strike rate in the last 2 weeks. He's absolutely flying. And Jesus, I mean, you look at the novice races, what we got, 7 or 8 of those. I think he'll take like 5 of them out. Then you've got the Champion Hurdle, State Man, El Fabiolo, Champion Chase, Galloping, Gold Cup. That could easily be up to 8. He'll take a couple of the handicaps out. He can be breaking double figures this year, will he? So it could be a good race between Willie and the green and gold of JP there. That might be close. Seriously. Also, I do think Henry's going to do well. I think he'll have a few winners. And, Nicky and Gordon probably have 3 or 4 between them, I think. I'm going to have to look for some specials because, yeah, that's kind of how I see it. I think Henry can come second to Willie this year. Willie's just going to maybe break records, and certainly JP's going to break some records, I think. He's got a handicapper in his back pocket, JP. Honestly, he owns the game. He does. Just my views. You look through these races, he's got some leniently treated horses, JP, in plenty of these handicaps. Right, so yeah, we're just going to bolster our squad then, mainly with handicappers today. A couple of exceptions, a few other ones. We'll do the Coral Cup. I think this is where Summer Jest is coming. Willie Mullins bingo again. I think it is. It just makes sense because JP's got another big player in that Martin Pipe in Waterford Whispers and No Ordinary Joe, and I think he'd quite like to split them and send Summer Jest here. It makes sense for Willie. He's got the other favourite there, Anti Bourbon, that we're on. I think he'd quite like to split them. It just makes sense for Summer Jest to come here. Handicapper left him on 140. Willie says he's a grade 1 horse. We haven't seen much of him. He looked good last time. If he's a grade 1 horse, he should be taking an handicap off 140. Top price 6-1 Coles and Ladbrokes for this. We'll have 5 points on that, 6-1, and that's our only dart at the Coral Cup race done. 5 points, 6-1. Keep it simple, eh? I do think JP's going to take 2 or 3 of these handicaps out. He's going to take a few, I think, with these. You can try, like I mentioned in that video before when we're doing like hints and things like that, the strategies, you can try to be too clever. I think at the end of the day, just go with what you think is personally quite obvious, and you won't be right about all of them, but if you get some of them right, that's fine. That's some winners is good. So they're not all going to win, but yeah. Coral Cup, 1 dart, 5 points, Summer Jest, 6-1. Grand Annual, I don't think St Felician's coming here. I know we got 3 points, 14's non-runner, no bet. I'm going to just take a little chance. And maybe we don't have to be fair. I could leave this till Sunday. That's going to be my other video. And then we're done, really. But yeah, I don't think St Felician's coming here. It looks like the ground's going to dry out a bit, I think. So I think it'd only come here if it got really heavy. Probably unlikely. So go on, we'll play this race now. If he does run, he does. It's not end at world. We'd end up with 8 points on race instead of 5. Right, first one. Again, green and gold. We're going to have 3 points. St Roy, 7-1. All these bets today are non-running our bet now. 7-1. I'm not sure. You might get bigger. I think you might get bigger than 7s if you wait. I think you might. Some of these prices will go shorter, but we're getting quite close in now. Some you might see bigger on the day. I think the 6-1 Summer Jest, I don't think you'll beat that. The 7-1 St Roy, you might see a bit of 10s or something on the day, you know. But, you know, I've got to put these up today or Sunday, so we'll go with that. 3.7-1 is handicap marker 152. He's not thrown in or anything on his handicap mark, but I do like grade 1 horses in handicaps. I like kind of novices and grade 1 horses, and he's a grade 1 horse. He runs in grade 1s. Technically he's probably a grade 2, grade 3 horse really. 7 of his 10 chase starts have come in grade 1s, and he's won one of those. So he's a grade 1 winner. They tested the waters in handicap company in the Danmore handicap, valuable handicap in Ireland. He ran encouraging there. That were a nice run out for him. He's been to the festival 3 times. He's won the county hurdle. He came 3rd in the champion hurdle and 3rd in the Arkle. And if you watched that Arkle last year, he ran really well in that. And, you know, that was against El Fabiola and John Bont, and he really did travel into that lovely. He were there coming to the last and then just got left behind, understandably, by them 2 top draw horses. There's nothing like that in this race. He's going to need things to fall right in a race of this nature. He'll be coming off the pace. You know, he's probably more of an each way bet. Maybe he is. And if we were getting 10s there, I might be doing each way. So maybe on the day, if you can get a bit of sort of 8s or 10s and you get sort of 6 places, you might prefer to play this one each way on the day. But for our purposes, we're just going to have 3 points on him at 7-1. Like I say, I do like grade 1 form in handicaps. And he's got that Cheltenham Festival form. The other dart there we're going to have in this is Muscada. We're going to have 2 points on her at 14-1 for Henry. She's £8 higher than last year when she just routed Dino Blue. That form looks serious form now. To be fair, Dino Blue did make a bad mistake at the last, but yeah, she really powered up from the back of the last there. She ran well this season behind El Fabiolo, and that was kind of sandwiched between 2 poor efforts. But she's been going from the front. I don't think she really wants to go from the front. She wants a nice lead. She's got a good running style for this race. She'll kind of sit handy-ish, but she stays really well up the hill. She's coming on the back of a poor effort, but she did last year as well. It's Henry. He'll have a bang on for this. And £8 higher than last year, yeah. But you watched last year's race, she was worth the £8. She might want a little cut in the ground. So you're taking, like I say, we're playing these handicaps now. You probably best wait until the day with some of these at least anyway. But 14-1, I think that's a fine price. So we'll have a couple of points on her at 14s. They both bring grade 1 form in here and good festival form. The plate. The plate. Last time I saw you, I said, I think this Cribble is one I'm going to have to be against. I've had an in-depth look at this race and I've done a complete U-turn. I just can't get away from this horse. He just looks really well handicapped off 140. You know, he's formaging his destiny there. I like how he's, you know, he tipped up first time out. I think the second time he would just kind of get his confidence back, give him a run. Last time out at Exeter, he jumped better. It was only a 3-horse race, but he jumped better, and it's a stiff jumping test Exeter and a stiff finish, and I just love how he came home. I think that's the first time this season probably John Joe's had him anything like close to full fitness. I think I can see him taking another big step forward here. And off that mark he does, he's just another one for the green and gold. He just stands out. I do have concerns if his jumping will stand up to this. But if it does, I think he just wins. Right, we're going to be a little bit sneaky here. He's generally a top price 4-1. You need a Sky Bet account for this. He's 5-1 with Sky Bet to win any race, non-runner no bet, if you click on the any race. Go easy with it if you value your account. but fuck him. If you like this horse, do it. Just take the 5s, but yeah, don't go mental on it, like, you know. But serves them right, these bookies, doesn't it? Yeah, they dropped the ball there, so let's pick it up and go with it. So yeah, the 5-1 with Sky Bet to win any race. We'll have 4 points on that, and that's our only dart at that race. We'll just, yeah. Right, it does seem like Vassar Vega might be going Turners. It does. A special one. I prefer him in the Arkle, and I do fancy him in the Arkle. I do. Don't shake your heads at me. It's a rubbish Arkle. It is. I think, you know, he runs in that Arkle, and he runs anywhere like how he's ran at the festival the last 2 years. He takes it. I think I do. Hopefully, they'll have a rethink and just run him in the Arkle. Hopefully. But it does seem like he's maybe going Turners with Gaelic Warrior in the Arkle. We'll see. I just think that's wrong. I think it's wrong for both horses. I don't see it. I don't. But, you know, he could end up... Because also, you know you're going to get a bit of soft ground. There's going to be a bit of dig in that ground. And I think that's quite important to him. And you know you're getting that on the Tuesday. On the Thursday, you don't. It might have dried out. I mean, who knows? Who knows? You know, it could bounce it down again and come up heavy or something. But you're guaranteed at least a bit of digging that ground on Tuesday, and I do think that's important to him. And if he runs, like I say, if he runs anything like he's run at Cheltenham the last couple of years, he wins that Arkle, I think. But yeah, he could well improve for stepping up in trip, and if he comes to this Turners, we're on him a bit, aren't we? We've got a point at 12s and a point at 7s. He's a top price 5-1. I think that's only in one place. I think it's Corals. 5-1. If he runs here, he goes off favourite. I think that 5-1 will look massive. It's going to be Willie, Paul. They'll be tearing it up Cheltenham by then, and you look at the favourite, Ginny's Destiny. I mean, we've been talking about that form in the context of an handicap, because, and it looks good in that context, in the context of a Grade 1 against a horse like Vassar Vega. I'm going off, you know, I've got to go off the cliff with this horse. I'm going over the edge. We're going in. Vassar Vega, we've had a point at 12s, a point on 7s. Top price 5s. We'll have another 3 points on that. We'll make him 5. Maybe we should go more. Shall we go more? I don't know, because we might have another little bet in the race as well. We'll just do that for now. Yeah, look, you know, second in a Supreme, won the bumper. Disappointing couple of runs this year. I do think that Arkle, he'll love the Arkle, a bit of dig in the ground, a really strong pace. It's set up for him. These races in Ireland this year, they've come on decent ground, a bit quick for him the first time. The second time, they went no pace and it turned into a sprint. And he weren't that far behind Illitate Tomps. I'm sure he'd turn that round at Cheltenham. But yeah, it should go Arkle, but they might be coming here. And if he comes here, we've got to be on him. The special one we have just on him. So that's that. Then we'll go to the last day. Right. County Hurdle. This is a cracking race, it is. You can argue cases for plenty in this. And in this race, this is the first handicap today, isn't it? We're not going with the green and gold here. And there's a lot of green and gold in this race with good chances, I know. Right, we're going 2 points Ludesud for Skelton, 11-1, 365, 12s wheels. I can't get on wheels, so for our purposes we're going 11s, but if you can get 12s, go with the 12s. He travelled fantastic in that Betfair hurdle, and he pulled clear with Iberico Lord, who's going champion hurdle. If he runs well in that, his Ludasud's going to be popular for this. That were effectively his first run of the season. He disappointed first time after I think they found a problem there, treated him for ulcers. He should come on plenty for that last run. He looks nice here off 135 for Skelton, who's deadly in this race. I think, is it 4 out of the last 7? Something like that. You know, he's the top trainer here. It looks like his horse for this. Double figures, I think, is fine. Yeah, so I'll have a couple of points on Ludasud at 11s or 12s if you can get it. The other one we're going to play, just the 2 darts at this. I mentioned this fella last time, Bialystok for Willie. He's, you know, Willie and Skelton Dan, they've just dominated this county hurdle in recent times. We're going to have 2 points each way on him at 12-1 Sky Bet. Now, yeah, I talked about him plenty last time. He's a pound better off on his Royal Bond running with a favourite here, King of Kingsfield. And if you watch that race, he was coming home the better that day. I think an extra furlong on that hill. I think this fellow will finish in front of King of Kingsfield, and he's nearly twice the price. And if he finishes in front of King of Kingsfield, that might be good enough to take this. My only doubt swim is the first time he won, he had a hood, and it does look a little bit wild, this horse. And it's just the kind of travelling over and the occasion. That'd be the only sort of worry for me. I think he should love this 2-1. You know, he loves big fields. He does. He's took out a 21 runner maiden and an 18 runner handicap. He loves big fields. He's a 6-year-old. He's still improving after 9 runs for Willie. He won lucky the last day when he got brought down, but because of that, he comes here off a nice rating. He looks nice off 139. He'll love the hustle and bustle of this. As long as he travels over and he don't boil over, I think he's got a cracking chance here. He's going to be thereabouts. That's Bialystok, yeah. Brings grade 1 form into this handicap for Willie. So that's the county hurdle there. Albert Bartlett. As you might well know, quite big on reading Tommy wrong here. I think I mentioned last time he'd be my nap of the week at something at a decent price. I'm strong on him, but we will have one more dart at this race. That, we're 6 points reading Tommy wrong. I think at 7s. We're going to have 2 points on Shanna Bob at 10-1. I like this horse, I do. He's 10-1 there, I think, at Hills and Bet Victor. He won a grade 2 over course distance last time. He looks like a classy stayer, this horse. He's the one I'd fear. I really like reading Tommy wrong. I think this is the one I'd fear. I do really like him. That was a big step up from Plumpton to grade 2 at Cheltenham, and he took it, and he took it in a way that you kind of felt like there were plenty left under the bonnet, and I think he can take a big step forward from that run. He stays, handles the track. Yeah, for Nicky and the Donnellys there. I think Shannon Bob's going to run a big race here. As I mentioned before, we've got Lecky Watson in this race. He's like a play spot horse, and I've already got a plan here to attack this. I mentioned before doing forecasts and tricasts, and I will be mixing these three up in forecasts and tricasts, reading Tommy Wrong, Shannon Bob and Lecky Watson. That's just one little thing I like, a little angle there. Maybe not an angle so much, but you know, just with Lecky Watson, I think he's going to get involved. I think we are winning, but I will mix him up in these forecasts and tricasts with reading Tommy Wrong and Shannon Bob. Yeah. It's a race I really like, the Bartlett. Had some good winners in that over the years. You know, you get some big shocks every now and then, you do, but you get some classy horses winning it too. And yeah, I think these horses, reading Tommy Wrong, bring some class form to this race. That Grade 1 Lola Delay, Mace 2.5, Shannon Bob looks a classy stayer to me. These are horses that could be future Gold Cup horses to me. Yeah. Right then, and the last race we're going to do today, we're going to finish this Martin Pipe off. Right, now, it's kind of, I'm hoping I'm right with Samajesko in Coral Cup here. And if I am, we're going to be in a nice place, I think, on this race. We've already had 2 points on K de Bourbon at 9s. I do really like this horse. He looks a bit Don Polly-ish to me. He's only 4s now, top price, but we having him backed at 9s. You know, I think you get better than 4s on the day. I do. So, you know, you might be best waiting. But for our purposes, I can't. I've got to put these bets up either today or Sunday. So we'll have another 2 points on him at 4s. He'll be a main play in the race. So we've got 4 points on him. And that's going to average out at 13-2 with the 9-1 we've already got. So we've got 2 points 9s, 2 points 4s. You got 13-2 there, which looks all right. Yeah, I think you might struggle to beat 13-2 on the day. I think. Seems like Mikey O'Sullivan's ride this, and he's the best jockey in this race as well, which is another big positive for him. So he's a main one. This should relish a step up. He looks all over like an RSA type horse for next year. And I like them sort of horses in this, the ones you can see making up into Grade 1 chasers. We've seen loads over the years. Iroko just last year. Obviously Galloping Deschamps, Don Polly. And this, I do like the Martin Pipe, so this is going to be the race we kind of ended up maybe overstaking this a little bit, I think, but it's the last race. We've got a long time to wait till Cheltenham again, haven't we? So we'll have a little pop in this race. It's the only handicap, we're going to have 3 in this. Right, we're going to have 2 points on Waterford Whispers at 10-1. You know, we like this horse. We've tracked him through this year. I like that form he's got. We answer to Cave. You know, you'd have to expect him to beat that horse on that running. It looks nicely handicapped here, I think. And this is, I think, JP's, if Samajesko's there, this will be his main dart at the race, so he'll have a top jockey on as well. I'm hoping it's going to be this Cornerstone Walsh. You know, I rate him. Look out for his rides this week for JP. He's, like I said, at the DRF, he were kind of on JP's that ran the best in the handicaps, so he may have a winner or 2 this week. He's a good lad. Yeah, he'll have 2 points on them at 10-1. He should You know, last time he did disappoint a little bit, that in a slowly run race, and you know the winner just got the run of the race from the front there, set his own fractions. This horse you saw before, he stayed really powerfully to the line. He should love. You should love this race. It looks made for him, the sort of 2.5 and the stiff finish. The other horse there, the last one, I did mention him. I gave him a brief mention before. This is a big price, this horse. I've not heard him mentioned anywhere, but I like this horse, and that's What's Up Darling. And we're going to have 2 points on What's Up Darling as well at 25s. I think that's with Paddy's and maybe one or two other places, definitely Paddy's. Right, another horse I think is going to make a cracking chase. All three of these should. He first time up this year, he travelled like the best horse against ante-post. Ante-post came home strongly there at Limerick after the last, but he travelled like the best horse in the race this, so his form sort of ties in with ante-post and Waterford Whispers. But at the time, Elliot's Gordon's horses were needing the run, and that's what it looked like to me. He travelled like the best horse in the race and just got tired after the last. Came out from that, and he didn't run him in a maiden, he ran him in, I think it was grade 3. And he won that race, and he beat a horse called Di Capo. And he travelled all over everything in that race again. He looked much the best horse. He made a shocking mistake at the last. Generally, he jumps really nicely, this horse, but he made a bad mistake at the last. But he still won. He beat Di Capo there. He's come out and he boosted the form last week in a decent sort of looking race. Well, you know, I don't know. It might have been a listed race or something anyway. But yeah, maybe weren't the best listed race, whatever. But yeah, he won well, and I think they think a bit of Di Capo. And this fella looked different gear to Di Capo that day, I thought. Then he went on to the Royal Bond, and he ran a good race there too, grade 1, beat 7 lengths, you know, just got a bit tired at the end of the race. The ground were bad in the straight that day. Then he gave him a break, and he had a jog round, because you need the 4 runs, don't you? So he gave him a break, he had a jog round the last day. He's got an handicap mark off 137 here. He's a 3-mile point-to-point winner. He debuted for Gordon over in a 2-mile 3 bumper, and then won a 2-mile 2 bumper. So he should really improve for a step up to 2.5. And I do think this horse is going to improve dramatically for better ground. I do. I just think he's a nice mover. I think he's going to improve a lot for decent ground, this horse. 25 to 1. Yeah, we'll have a couple of points on him as well. These are all non-running out bet. We don't know for sure if these are all running, do we? Waterford Whispers may not get in. What's Up Darling? I've not read anything about him. I don't know what the plans are, but he's entered up here off of 137. Yeah, so that's Martin Pipe. And that's that. That's all the ones I'm putting up today then. I will see you Sunday. Sunday we'll have a big old long ramble there Sunday. It'll be the last one before we get started. And yeah, we'll just finish off the selections and we'll have to look back. It'll be a final sort of ante-post roundup. We'll see where we stand. I've just today I've ordered a skip to replace the recycle bin. Because we're going to need it after the last couple of weeks. Like I said, constitutional. That looks like having a knock-on effect with Irish Point. So that's 9 points in the bin. And Facile Vega, it could be 15 points. Plus the other ones as well. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of a handicap there to start off with. But hopefully we can more than pay for that. So, that's all that then. Enjoy your weekend. We're not far now, are we? You know, when I'll be happy, you know, when we see what's finally running and it's all put to bed, then the excitement will start. I get it in bursts, but Jesus, it's been, for me, it's been a tough couple of weeks anyway. Just chews your head up, doesn't it? This Willy Mullins bingo thing. But yeah, we're not far now, and yeah, it should be good. Right, have a good weekend then. I'll see you on Sunday. All the best, and thanks for watching.